Hello, Shardinians. Welcome back to my channel. I'm all things sugar and shade Sade. Hey, and this is where I talk about Love Island USA season 7. And today I'm talking about episode 30. There's a lot to get into. Oh my God, there really is. But before I get into that, make sure you like this video. You might as well do it now, and it's free and it really helps me beat the algorithm. Also, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and share this with like-minded people, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Okay, let's get into it. First off, Cierra has officially left the villa. Can we get a round of applause for production, please? Because, first of all, the UK would never. Also, I was so shocked, not because I wanted her to say absolutely not, but because I didn't think this close to the final that they would make that decision. And I'm really happy that they did. They heard the people, they listened to them, and wrong is wrong at the end of the day. Like, those comments were out of order. I'm not going to show them here, but you can find them in other places, but they were out of order, racist comments at the end of the day, and it's not on. And if you're going to remove Yulissa, then you have to remove Cierra as well. Her parents put out a statement. Cierra hasn't responded herself yet, but I bet that's coming quite soon. Let me just share what Cierra's parents said. This is after the person who was running her account has actually stepped back because, you know, don't want to be associated and that sort of thing. So it says, as Cierra's parents, this has been one of the most painful weeks of our lives. We've seen the posts, the headlines, and the hurt and the hate. And while Cierra hasn't seen any of it yet, we have. And so have the people who love her. We are not here to justify or ignore what has surfaced. We understand why people are upset, and we know accountability matters. But what's happening online right now has gone far beyond that. The threats, the cruel messages, the attacks on her family, her friends, and even her supporters, it's heartbreaking. It's uncalled for. And no one deserves that kind of hate, no matter what mistake they've made. While Cierra is not in the villa anymore, she is still away. She hasn't had the chance to process any of this or speak for herself, but we know our daughter. We know her heart. And when she returns, we believe she'll face this with honesty, growth, and grace. While she's always our little girl, she's also a woman, one who will take responsibility in her own time and her own voice. Until then, we are simply asking for compassion, for patience, for basic human decency, not just for her, but for everyone caught up in the middle of this. Thank you to those who have continued to show love, even when it's not easy. So I think that Cierra will obviously come out and say something. I feel like she will take responsibility as well, and she will understand the error of her ways. She sounds like, not defending her, but how she comes across is that she is someone who does self-work. So I can't imagine her not taking accountability and responsibility for this as well. And I think she will understand. Whether or not people will forgive her, that's not for me to say. That's not for me to say. Honestly, it depends if people want to forgive her, because I understand when people take things to a racial place, yeah, you can always continue to look at them sideways. You don't have to engage with them. Do you know what I mean? If this affects you, you don't have to forgive anyone. Honestly, well done, Love Island USA, for standing on business. Absolutely love this outcome. Yeah, she got to go and she went. So in this episode, the big thing that was happening was recoupling. And of course, Nic is single now. So who is he going to recouple with? He doesn't really know. The boy looks confused. But one thing's for sure is that if he was truly deep in it with Cierra, he would have left with her and he would have stood by her side. But I think Nic really knows that that is the shitstorm. So absolutely not. I don't think he's going to do that. Plus, the other day, he was even, you know, relieved when Cierra was saying being closed off on the outside doesn't mean they're boyfriend and girlfriend. He was so relieved with that. Am I expecting him to stand by her? Absolutely not. I don't think that's happening. But what this did leave is for another opportunity of Nicolandria. Who knew? Who knew this would happen? Who knew these twisted turns? Who knew? Not I. I did not see this coming at all. Oh my God. A couple of you knew. I'm not going to lie. A couple of you knew. A couple of you hoped for it. And, you know, God was just like, let's go. Orlandria and Nic, they have a bit of a conversation, and she's just like, you know, what can I do? You know, I'm here for you. And he just starts talking about, you know, I really like how you've been so loyal to me, like you're fiercely loyal. And he absolutely loves that. And he also says to her, like, you know, I had your back and everything, you know, that I'm attracted to you as well. So Nic is laying on thick again. Nic is nicking, as they say. And he straight up asks her, are you open to like a connection? Because obviously Orlandria and the whole Taylor thing and that sort of thing. Orlandria's like, yeah, I am. Enthusiastically, she is, you know, and he's, of course, happy about that. She says that things are done between her and Taylor, and obviously he's with Clark now, and she can see them together, and she's happy for them. So then Nic asks her, oh, but how did you feel about, you know, in the like America Says game, how did you feel about them ranking like last? And Orlandria, like she's been waiting to say, says like, yeah, I was happy. It was great. It felt great. And she was laughing. They fall about laughing. Mind you, Shelley and Ace are watching them while they're having a conversation. Shelley and Ace are talking about their stuff and where they are with everything. They literally talk about their backgrounds a bit and everything like that. And then they notice Orlandria and Nic. And Ace says like, look, when Orlandria was here during Casa, Nic and her got really well. So we'll see what happens between them. And then they give them a little wave. It was actually very, very cute. So back to Nic and Orlandria. So yeah, they're laughing, having a great time. It seems like they're bonding well. They're friends first. So it really could actually be something. Like, it's so strange that this is happening again. And because they're laughing at Taylor and Clark being in the bottom, Orlandria's just like, you thought I was going to give you a PR answer. She's like, nope, I was happy. And I love that for her as well, because it's real. I know the Nicolandria fans, they're out in full force. So boy, there is a serious contender for the #1 spot now. Also, this episode, we had Taylor make Clark breakfast. He's done a breakfast picnic for her, which was really, really sweet. Not prompted by Ace, not encouraged by Ace. He done it off his own back. Like, he actually likes the girl and he didn't need encouragement at all. Ace, however, was involved. Like, he played the role of waiter, and they sent Amaya to go and stall Clark. And Amaya's just asking like all these little cute questions. What's your favorite color? What's your perfect date and stuff? And you can kind of see Clark's face like, okay, what's going on? This is odd, but okay, cool, let's chat. Ace comes upstairs in a blazer as the waiter, and then he takes her to the picnic, and then he's playing this waiter role where he's running really fast to go and get things. And it's actually quite funny. It's actually quite comical. And it was nice to see that playful side. So we saw Ace and Shelley like really getting on, and we're seeing, you know, Ace playing, you know, the friend to Taylor and stuff, and kind of like helping nurture this budding relationship. Is actually quite kind of cute. I think Taylor did also like apologize to Clark as well, which I was just like, well, have you even apologized to Orlandria? Like, he hates that girl. It's so out of order. It really is. I really hope they continue to place last at this point. Not so much on Clark, but Taylor, you're not taking no responsibility, and it's kind of out of order. We also see Pepe and Iris getting on. They seem to be getting on really well. They're trying to make a go of things. Whether it's actually going to fully happen, I don't know. We see Zach talk to Orlandria as well. Like, she's still one of his options and he's one of her options. And they have a decent conversation. I think he asked Orlandria, like, what type of partner do you like? And she's like, I like providers. And he was just like, yeah, that's me. And I'm also a handyman. I'm also this. Like, relax, bro. Relax. But Orlandria does note that Zach is cute. And he is cute. He is. He's just not cool. Do you know what I mean? He's just not cool. And he's trying it. So, like, also, he was talking to Amaya too, because obviously that's his other option, which was kind of strange because I thought they put it to bed anyway. I thought they were just friends, but he was just like, I gravitate to you the most, like talking to you the most. And I wasn't too worried because Amaya has options. So she was talking to Zach, she was talking to Elan as well. Elan was talking, he laid on thick. Like, I'm only going to focus on you. Like, okay, Alon, you can't hypnotize her with your eyes. It's fine. It's not happening. And also, her other connection is Bryan, who she went to the dock with, and they had a bit of a chat. And, you know, they had a bit of a smoochy smooch as well. So I think that's going really, really well. I couldn't have asked for more. Cierra's gone. Amaya and Bryan are getting on. Like, winning. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I should say Huda and Chris seem to be getting on really well as well. But I think after the game, they had like a bit of a chat, and Huda, she's so odd though. She's so odd. She was just like, oh, so surprising in the game that none of the other guys kissed me. Chris was just like, why? Like, you could see on his face, like, what are you talking about, girl? But okay. Like, why? She was just like, oh yeah, because we're not closed off. I was just like, oh my God, you're dropping that massive hint there. You're not going to get closed off in this amount of time. I don't think so anyway. Like, that would be insane to close it off like straight away, because you've only been together like a couple days, like maybe a week. Yeah, like, relax. And I was thinking, actually, US Love Island does run shorter than UK Love Island. And I was thinking, like, okay, there is a little bit of a benefit of running a bit longer, so you can just see the relationships develop. Even like just an additional week, we probably would have seen more of the love blossoming, because we're now, what they like now is where we should have been before Casa, to be honest. So all of the nonsense that's happened is really taken away from the love aspect of Love Island, for sure. Anyway, Chris and Huda, when they're talking, Chris starts doing these dad jokes, which I thought was freaking hilarious personally. Well, Huda knew all the answers. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I think he said one was like, how do you wake up Lady Gaga from her sleep? And it's like, poker face. Another one was like, how many tickles does it take to tickle an octopus? And the answer is like tentacles. I like silly shit like that. It's too funny. But yeah, she got all the answers anyway. So yeah, but that was funny as well, because he has to try harder, obviously. So then Huda got a text, and text said there was going to be a recoupling, and whoever is left vulnerable and single is in danger of being dumped from the island. And actually, when Ariana did appear, it turns out those people are going home immediately. And I just say, Ariana, again, stunning. Those boots, yeah? Like, I feel like I must have them. I'm not going to get them, but I loved them. Absolutely loved them. So Elon, Bryan, and Zach all have their final pictures with Amaya, but I kind of knew who she was going to pick. Like, it was fine. Nic and Orlandria do have a conversation as well beforehand. At some point he says, you know, Nicolandria has a nice ring to it. Like, who from production told him that? Like, honestly. But yeah, that was kind of funny. And then the recoupling begins. So we have Shelly obviously recoupling up with Ace. She said, like, he is showing me I'm his number one. He's let down his walls a little too, and that could have been easy. It's been a roller coaster, but she feels special. Ace was happy with that, and he said he listens and she understands me. Okay, cool. But nice moment for them too. Clark obviously is picking Taylor. The way they framed the camera when Clark was standing up, you could see Orlandria sitting down. Producers, that's nasty work. It's unnecessary. Please stop. She picked Taylor, obviously. Huda, she obviously picked Chris. And she said, you know, the beginning was a last minute decision, like it was a risk worth taking. She said that he doesn't judge me for the way that I love. He's thoughtful. He makes me happy. And she can see this working on the outside, and she didn't want it to end. So I was just like, okay, all the emotions. Okay. It was a lovely speech, Huda. Really well done. And Chris was feeling very, very giddy. He said he feels good, he feels assured, he feels confident. Ariana asked him, are you happy? He was like, hell yeah. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And they just seemed very, very cute together. Iris was next. He said with this boy, she had a similar journey. Because they obviously, they're like widowers. They both lost the people they had the strongest connection with. And it's been good to getting to know him and everything like that, and just have fun. And she could be herself, I think she was saying as well. And she chose Pepe. Then Orlandria. Basically, she was choosing between Nic and Zach, and she said this boy has expressed how much he values me from the beginning. He's got a quirky personality. She's excited to spend time with him, And yeah, she chose Nic. Nic actually runs to her and clicks his ears and everything. And he says, I'm going to take care of her the best I can, which was very sweet. Now, Ariana does point out, you guys have had an amazing friendship, so we'll see where this goes. And like, you can tell she's here for it as well. Then it was Amaya. She was super, super nervous because Ariana reminded her, whoever you don't choose is leaving the villa tonight. And she says that this person has recognized her as the queen that she is, that he never dimmed my light. She can see a future with him. And she said, you know, she's fiery, but he's the water to her fire, which was very, very sweet. I love her little sayings. It's really, really cute. Then they done an ad break. And I know the producers, they must have been laughing hard at this. And then it comes back, and of course, it's Bryan, and Amaya is officially born. They are officially the couple and the other strong contender to win this competition. Obviously, Zach and Ilan have to go home. Zach does say that you guys do look good together, and you know, he really supports their union, I guess. But he does say Casa boys for life as well. So Zach and Ilan are dumped from the island. And now it is time for America to vote for their favorite couple. So they have to choose between Amaya and Bryan, Orlandria and Nic, Shelly and Ace, Huda and Chris, Iris and Pepe, and Clark and Taylor. So Americans, let me know, who did you vote for? Let me know. And I feel like also Orlandria and Nic had a bit of a conversation as well. They just talked about how Nic said that he's still nervous talking to Orlandria, which is very interesting. Orlandria says like she's happy to navigate it right this time. And in the confessional, she's just like, wait, has it been Nic the whole time? Like, how do we keep coming back to each other? Like, what's going on? She says she's going to give it her all this time. They don't kiss, but they do hug. So yeah, that was the episode. Guys, if you watch this far, you know I love you the most. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like this video, share with like-minded people, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Okay, I will be going live all this week, so around 10:15 to 10:30 UK time. So if you want to join in the conversation as well, I'll see you then. All right then, bye.